What's up, everybody? If you already watched part 1, welcome back. And if you haven't, thanks for joining me on my review of the Canadian macros. This is Hoggie's Beer Reviews. This is what I call my review of the Canadian macro lagers, Molson Canadian, Labatt Blue, and Molson Ice. Part 1 was Molson Canadian. Not good. Part 2 is Labatt Blue from the, I guess it's the Labatt Brewing Company. The Labatt Brewing Company, which originated in Ontario. Now, Labatt Blue, again, much like the Molson beers, it's a beer that I've been looking at for years, and I think Labatt has an ice and maybe a light as well. But they're beers I've heard about, beers I've seen, beers I've never had. So I wanted to finally get around to it, and I finally did it, and I got one of each just to see what the Canuck macros are all about. Let's see, imported daily from Canada, no preservatives, Labatt Blue imported, Canadian Pilsner beer, 11.5 fluid ounces. So already these fucking Canadians are shysting me for half an ounce. Not good. Anyways, the Labatt Brewing Company in Ontario, they are now owned by InBev, the international conglomerate which bought out Budweiser last year. So you guys are owned by the same people. You Canadians, my fellow Canadians, your macro is now owned by the same people that own our macro. Ain't that nice? And of course, Molson is now Molson Coors. So, you know, it's a big clusterfuck of shitty beer. Anyways, because Labatt Blue is now owned by InBev, which owns Budweiser, I break out my Budweiser Hurricane Wings glass. I never use this one because my buddy Howard, the manager over at Hurricane Wings, hooked me up with the original Hurricane Wings glass with the old logo that says nothing but Hurricane Wings. So this Budweiser version, I rarely use. But I figure it fitting because Labatt is InBev and InBev is Budweiser. So this looks like a twist. Oh, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Punching it up on Beer Advocate like we always do about this time. Labatt Blue. From the Labatt Brewing Company, from the Labatt Brewing Company in Ontario, part of InBev. It receives a C- overall out of 519 reviews. Yeah. The Bros have rated it, and if you're familiar with Beer Advocate, the Bros, the guys who run the site, they have rated it, and they consider it also a C-. It's categorized as an American adjunct lager at 5% alcohol by volume. So another adjunct lager, another lager that has corn and or rice and or whatever thrown in there to cut flavor and cut the cost and yippee-ki-yay. Maybe this will be better than the Molson Canadian because that was not great. So this is a cool bottle cap. I will be keeping it, just like I'm keeping the other ones. Looks nice and it looks like a twist off. So yeah, it's a twist off. All right. So let's get right to it. Labatt Blue, Canadian Brewed, number 2. And Labatt's actually kind of lucky here. It was not part of the original plan. Just in case you didn't see part of the video, I mentioned this at part 1 of the 2 videos. I mentioned it there. I was originally going to do this as the beers of Molson, Molson Canadian, Molson Golden, Molson Ice. When I went to the store, they didn't have Molson Golden, and I grabbed Labatt instead. So you're lucky to be here, buddy. Alright? And by the looks of it, I'm the unlucky one because this looks like a really shitty, fizzy fucking beer. I noticed it as I was pouring because the head was building and fizzing away at the same time, and these are huge bubbles. The head on this beer looks like Coca-Cola. Take a look at that. It's popping, it's fizzing, there's a shitload of active carbonation. Color-wise, this is straw colored. This is lighter than the Molson Canadian. It's crystal clear. It's a light straw color. The head is completely dissipated almost. Pop, pop, fizz, fizz. It's like soda. It's like I'm drinking a Sierra Mist. Yeah. And to my Canadian friends out there, I've drank Unibrew, I've drank Moosehead, and I want to drink some of your better quality beers. So I'm not judging you as a country or as a culture. I'm judging your macros, which are no better than our macros. So If you're Canadian and you're feeling offended, don't be. Your beers suck, just like our beers suck, at least the big ones. Anyways, so the head's gone. The beer looks like piss. See what it tastes like. Corn. You know, at least the Molson Canadian, when I drank it, there was a little bit of a fizz, of a bite from the carbonation. This one has gone flat so quick that it's almost flat on the way down. It's just like flat, dirty water. And then as you're about to swallow, you know, the back of the tongue, you start to get that corn flavor. That's why it's an adjunct lager, because there's corn in there, and there shouldn't be any damn corn in any damn beer. But, you know, they want to cut the cost and they want to cut the flavor, so they add that shit in there and people get used to it, and then people buy it, and then they become rich, and then I sit here going, what the hell is wrong with all of y'all? That's how it works. But anyways. Yeah, a little fizz of carbonation. Light, very, very light body. No flavor across the middle. Corn and more carbonation on the end. If I had to pick between this and the Molson Canadian, I'd take them both, mix them together, drink it real fast, and go on my way. And that's only if I had been working outside. If I hadn't, if I was chilling, if I was all good, if I was indoors, if I had just had a good IPA and you offered me either one of these beers, I'd just laugh and tell you to fuck off. This sucks as bad as Molson Canadian. Labatt Blue, glass empty, no redeeming quality whatsoever, even for an adjunct lager. Sure, it's smooth, sure, it's watery, but there's no flavor except corn. It's overly carbonated and it goes away way too quick, and there's just no redeeming quality whatsoever. A perfect beer for InBev to have bought. Indeed. So that's it. Labatt Blue, glass empty. It can join its other Canadian brother in Molson Canadian. And that's that. So, again, against my better judgment, I'm going to drink this and then be back with the third and final Canadian macro lager. And this one's special because this one is an ice beer. So stay tuned for that. Alright? See you later.